I quit celebrating holidays, traditional milestones, when I was younger. And by celebrating, I mean like rejoicing interiorly. Okay, I mean like we still like had our traditional holiday gatherings and our annual birthday things, and we celebrated in that sense in coming together. But the joy that my brain thinks should be attached to those activities, seasons, times, milestones, events. I'm talking like 16th birthday, 21st birthday, your 13th birthday, Christmas when you're 5, your birthday when you're 5, whatever it is that happened that wasn't what you thought it should be, right? So for me, that was like celebrating everything, celebrating holidays, family get-togethers. Nothing ever seemed to go the way that it was supposed to, and it always led to some disappointment because there was an expectation about the way I should feel about it, and that mark was never met. Or there was some anticipation about the way things should go, and that didn't happen, right? Because things never go the way they're planned, truly. And so when we learn to settle for just not even caring, like I don't even care to celebrate. Why? Because it never turns out the way I like. It never turns out the way I want. So if we stop celebrating, and we stop celebrating life, and we stop celebrating because our expectations aren't getting met, and we're completely just dismal about the whole thing. So then our other thing after that is kind of was like everything's blasé. It's just blasé, like there was no real joy about it. So where I'm at now is different. So where I used to not want to celebrate a holiday, or plan anything that was supposed to be big, like a wedding ceremony, because that would go wrong, right? Something was going to happen that wouldn't necessarily be the way I expected it to. And I had a certain level of control. There was a box that I was trying to maintain with expectations, right? And so today, now, I have no expectations. None whatsoever. I do believe that if people tell me something, that they're going to do it. I believe people should have integrity. I have certain beliefs in place about life. And those beliefs are not expectations. They are boundaries. They are what keeps me being okay. It's what helps me to not fall into depression because of unmet expectations. So for me, having gone through a complete mental transformation, having gone through a lot of different experiences and taking time, like literally like a very long hiatus, being able to come back and say, I get it now. I get why I don't do certain things. I get why I struggle to appreciate being let down. Because I don't appreciate it. I can't say thank you for disappointing me to myself or anyone else. I can't say that, because that's not what I'm thankful for. Thank you for showing me who you are. Thank you for showing me what I need to understand. Thank you for showing me how I might change the way that I interact with you or perceive what's happening. So it isn't so much anymore about whether or not people do or don't do anything, because I'm responsible for how I feel and how I perceive and how I process and what my expectations are or aren't met. But what I can do is still have a respect, integrity, appreciation for the things that are honest and true. I don't have to lie to myself anymore. I don't have to pretend like I'm supposed to be enjoying something when I don't. If I don't enjoy it, I don't enjoy it. I make light of things more now than I did before, ever in my life, for the simple fact that it helps me get through it without being angry. I'd rather laugh at you because you did something ignorant and I can call you out on it, than to internalize that and beat myself up over what I didn't say, or because I let you walk all over me, or because I chose to hold my tongue. Like, I don't do that anymore. I do to an extent because I want to be cordial and I want to be gracious. But if I speak clearly and plainly and I tell you that these are my boundaries and that you're crossing them and you continue to cross them, then I'm probably not going to be really nice. It's not going to be funny when I tell you off. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm trying to keep it good mood, good cordiality between us, I'm going to keep it light. I'm not going to use a lot of profanity in a derogatory way that indicates that I'm upset. I'd rather keep it lighthearted and laughing and be like, you know what? It's just not going to work out. Hey, cool, no worries, move on. Rather than try and force something to fit that isn't meant to be. So yeah, changing the mental structure, changing the expectations, looking for different outcomes, trusting that the outcomes that are meant to be are happening rather than not. I've downward spiraled so many times in my life, knowing that if I didn't get from point A to point B and have everything go right and every single green light, and I've been locked out of work meetings. I've had to take my family, personal situations to places I didn't want to. Okay. There's just a lot of things that happen in life that we don't have control over, that somebody else is thinking the same thing that we're thinking, that they need to get somewhere. And if we run into each other because neither one of us are paying attention, then there's an accident. And whether that's on the highway or on the sidewalk or in your personal life, your inter or intrapersonal life, so it happens, is if we are barreling forward without processing, thinking about it, and being conscientious, then we will probably end up having an accident of some kind. There'll be some catastrophe, some disaster. So really, if we just stop and think about it and let it go before it becomes a thing, So we're going to put a soft line in the sand right now and say, soft line in the sand, this moment forward, anything new that comes to my plate, I'm going to address it differently. I am going to try and just pretend like I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what's going on. I'm just no expectations. And if they come at me like they have an expectation because I should know what they're talking about, oh, honey, no, I'm sorry. My brain was somewhere else. My life is not wrapped around you. So we want to make sure, and I promise you, I know details beyond details. I've got more insight, foresight, and forethought, and I wait, and I've said 10 things in my head before I've responded, by the way. I have stopped insta responding. That is something I highly recommend. Pause yourself, especially if it's an emotional or a volatile thing, pause yourself. When you're excited, especially, new love, I'm going to text that all the time. No, pause yourself. If you feel that urge and you can't control it, you are toxic to yourself right then. That's an addictive modality entering your body. So we want to be mindful of those things. So just some food for thought. And I started out on expectations and not happy holidays, and I'm ending with a joyful life with a new attitude and a renewed sense of being, and good advice, right? I don't know. Y'all have a blessed day.